The city lights glittered like scattered diamonds outside the penthouse windows, but Vine barely noticed them. She sat on the edge of the bed in the guest room, staring at the sleeping baby in the bassinet beside her. Tiny chest rising, tiny fingers curl, a soft breath escaping those delicate lips. Her daughter, the most beautiful thing she had ever seen. Vine gently brushed the baby's cheek with the back of her finger. "Hi, my little angel," she whispered softly. The baby stirred slightly but didn't wake. Vine smiled faintly. For a moment, warmth filled her chest. But it didn't last. Her eyes drifted downwards to her own body, to the loose shirt she wore. Slowly, hesitantly, she lifted the hem. Her breath caught. Stretch marks, silver lines ran across her stomach like cracks in porcelain. Her fingers trembled as she traced one. Her throat tightened. Before the pregnancy, her body had been different, smooth, firm, confident. But now she felt like a stranger inside her own skin. And the worst part, her husband hadn't seen them yet, not properly because she had made sure of that. Across the penthouse in the main bedroom, the door opened quietly. A tall man stepped inside. His presence alone could make an entire boardroom fall silent. Sharp jawline, cold grey eyes, perfectly tailored black suit. He was known throughout the city as a ruthless CEO. People called him intimidating, unapproachable, emotionless, but to Vine, he was simply her husband, Jungkook. And tonight, the first thing Jungkook noticed was the empty side of the bed. His brows furrowed. Again? This had been happening for weeks. Ever since he returned from the hospital, he loosened his tie slowly, his gaze lingering on the untouched pillow. Then he walked toward the hallway, soft light spilled from the guest room. And that's where he found her, sitting beside the baby, quiet, fragile, too far away. He leaned against the door frame, watching silently. Something inside his chest tightened. She looked thinner, tired, but beautiful. So beautiful it made his chest ache. He walked toward her slowly. "Why?" She flinched slightly. The small reaction didn't escape him, it never did. She turned quickly. "Oh, you're home." Her voice was soft, careful, almost nervous. Django crouched beside the bassinet. His expression softened immediately when he saw the baby. "She is asleep?" "Yes." A pause lingered between them, an uncomfortable one. He noticed it again, the way she kept her body turned away from him, the way she pulled her shirt down further, the way she avoided his gaze. It had been like this for weeks, and Jungkook hated it. He gently reached for her hand, but she pulled it away. Quickly, too quickly. His jaw tightened. "Why?" I should check if she needs milk," she said quickly, standing up. The baby was still sleeping, they both knew it, but she moved anyway, busy hands, busy mind. Anything to avoid him. Jungkook slowly stood. His towering frame made the small room feel even smaller. "Look at me." She froze. Slowly she turned. The eyes met. Her heart stumbled because his gaze was intense, not cold, not distant, something deeper, something searching. "You have been avoiding me." Her throat tightened. "I haven't." "You have." The calmness in his voice made it worse, because Jungkook didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. Silence stretched between them. Finally she looked away. "I'm just tired. You won't sleep in our bed." Her fingers clenched. "You won't let me touch you." Her chest rose with uneven breaths. "You won't even look at me properly anymore." Her eyes watered, but she quickly blinked the tears away. Jungkook stepped closer. "Tell me what's wrong." She shook her head quickly. "Nothing." But she didn't believe her, not for a second, because the woman in front of him wasn't the same one who used to laugh loudly in the kitchen, the same woman who used to steal his shirts and wander around the penthouse in barefoot, the same woman who used to wrap her arms around him from behind when he worked. She had disappeared, and Jungkook had no idea why. Later that night, one stood alone in the bathroom. Steam from the shower filled the mirror. She stared at her reflection slowly. Her fingers gripped the hem of her shirt again, but she forced herself to lift it. Her stomach, her lips, her hips. The faint stretch marks spreading across her skin. Her eyes filled with tears. How could he love this? Her mind replayed every moment she had pulled away from him, every time she avoided his touch, every time she pretended to sleep before he came to bed. She wasn't doing it to hurt him, but she was protecting herself. Because if Jungkook saw her like this, if he looked at her the way people looked at broken things, she wouldn't survive it. Behind the bathroom door, Jungkook stood in the hallway. He had come to ask if she wanted tea, but then he heard it, her voice soft, broken. How could he love this? Her brows slowly grew together, and something cold twisted inside his chest. Because for the first time, Jungkook realized this wasn't distance, this was pain. And someone had made his wife believe she wasn't beautiful anymore. But the question burning inside him was simple: who? Because whoever it was, they had no idea what kind of man Jeon Chingo could become when someone hurt the woman he loved. Meanwhile, inside the bathroom, Vine wiped her tears quickly. She had no idea at all, that the cold CEO she thought might stop loving her was actually falling apart because she kept pushing him away, and soon he would demand the truth. The next morning felt strangely quiet, too quiet. Sunlight poured through the tall glass windows of the penthouse, casting long golden lines across the marble floor. Vine stood in the kitchen, gently rocking the baby in her arms while warming a bottle. Her daughter let out a soft whine. Shh, Mummy's here, she whispered. Her voice was gentle, but her eyes looked tired. She had barely slept again, not because of the baby, but because of him, Chenko. Every time she closed her eyes, she remembered the way he looked at her last night, concerned, searching, too close to discovering the truth, and that terrified her. The bottle warmer beeped softly. She quickly prepared the milk and began feeding the baby. Her daughter's tiny fingers wrapped around one of hers. Wine smiled weakly. You are the only one who won't judge mommy, huh? The baby blinked up at her with wide eyes. That simple innocence made her chest ache because deep inside, Vine feared something she couldn't say out loud. What if Jungkook eventually looked at her the way she looked at herself? Broken, ruined, not beautiful anymore. Footsteps echoed behind her. Her body immediately stiffened. She didn't need to turn around to know it was him. Jungkook walked into the kitchen freshly dressed in a charcoal suit. His presence always filled the room, tall, sharp, commanding, but this morning his eyes looked softer, tired even. He had barely slept either. His gaze landed on her immediately. Wine kept her focused on the baby, avoiding the eye contact again. Jungkook noticed. Of course he did. He poured himself coffee slowly, watching her over the rim of the mug. You are up early. She nodded. The baby wake up. The way she wakes up every 2 hours. Yes. Silence followed, uncomfortable, heavy. Vine hated silence with Jungkook because silence meant his mind was working, and Jungkook had never ignored things that bothered him. He set the coffee down. Vine, her shoulders stiffened. Yes, you didn't come to bed again. Her fingers tightened around the bottle. I didn't want to wake you. I wasn't asleep. Her breath hissed slightly. The baby continued drinking quietly between them. Jungkook leaned against the counter, studying her face. You have been sleeping in the guest room for 3 weeks. She said nothing. You avoid me whenever I touch you. Still silence. His voice dropped slightly. You won't even change clothes in front of me. Her heart started pounding. Jungkook, look at me. The command was calm but impossible to ignore. Slowly she lifted her gaze. His grey eyes locked onto hers, sharp, but not angry, just worried. Did I do something wrong? The question turned her. What? Did I hurt you? Her eyes widened. No, the answer came too quickly, too desperate. Jungkook's brow drew together. Then why are you running from me? Her throat tightened because she didn't know how to answer that. How could she explain something that sounded so pathetic out loud? I'm just tired. That's not it. His voice remains steady. You think I can't tell when my own wife is lying? Her chest tightened. She looked away again, and that's when the baby finished shrinking. Vine quickly lifted her to her shoulder to burp her. A soft patting sound filled the room. Jungkook watched them quietly, and something softened inside him. Despite everything, despite the distance, she has still the same gentle woman he loved, the woman who had carried their daughter for 9 months, the woman who had cried when the first heard the baby's heartbeat, but now she was hiding from him and refused to let that continue. Later that evening, the rain started falling, soft drops tapped against the windows of the penthouse. The baby was finally asleep again. Mine sat in the guest room rocking chair, staring at the basement. Her mind wouldn't stop racing because she could feel it. Jungkook's patience was running out, and when Jungkook decided to confront something, there was no escaping it. A quiet knock came from the door. Her stomach dropped. "Come in," she whispered. The door opened slowly. Jungkook stepped inside. His suit jacket was gone, his sleeves rolled to his elbows. He looked less like the intimidating CEO everyone feared and more like a husband who hadn't been able to reach his wife for weeks. "Is he asleep?" he asked quietly. Vine nodded. "Yes." He walked closer to the bassinet. His large hand gently brushed the baby's head. His expression softened immediately. "She looks like you." Mine felt her chest tighten. "Everyone says she looks like you." "She has your eyes." Silence lingered. Then he turned toward her and the softness disappeared, not replaced by anger but determination. "We need to talk." Her heart started racing. "There is nothing to talk about." "There is." His voice remained calm. "You're miserable." "I'm not." "You are." The bluntness made her flinch. Shingo stepped closer. "Do you think I didn't notice?" Her fingers gripped the arms of the chair. "You barely eat." Her breathing grew uneven. "You barely sleep." She swallowed hard. "And you act like my touch burns you." The last sentence cracked something inside her. Tears immediately filled her eyes. "I don't." "Then tell me what's wrong." His voice finally rose slightly, not angry, just frustrated, desperate. The baby stirred slightly in the basement. Both of them froze. After a moment, she settled again. Mine wiped her tears quickly. "Please stop." "Stop what?" "Looking at me like that." "Like what?" "Like you're trying to figure out what's broken." His eyes darkened. "Something is broken." Her voice cracked. "Yes." "Then tell me what it is." Her heart pounded violently. She couldn't say it. She couldn't say the words. Because once they were spoken, they would become real. "I can't." Jungkook stared at her. Then suddenly he reached for her wrist. Not rough, but firm. "Come with me." "Jungkook, now." Her up. Her heart raced as he guided her toward the bathroom. "Why are we here?" He didn't answer. Instead, he turned on the light. The mirror illuminated both of them. Her small frame, his tall one standing behind her. "Look at yourself." "I don't want to." "Look." Tears spilled from her eyes. "No." Jungkook stepped closer behind her. His hands rested lightly on her shoulders. His voice softened. "Vine, what are you hiding from me?" Her lips trembled. "I'm not hiding." Her fingers slowly reached for the hem of her oversized shirt. Her breath caught instantly. Jungkook stopped. But he didn't pull it up, not yet. Instead, he looked at her reflection. "Are you afraid I won't love you if I see you?" That question shaded her completely. Tears streamed down her face. "Yes." The word came out as a whisper. Jungkook froze. What? Her voice broke. I had the baby. Her hands trembled as she clutched the fabric of her shirt. My body isn't the same anymore. Her brows furrowed. I have stretch marks. Her breathing became uneven. They're ugly. Silence filled the bathroom. Her voice dropped even further. I thought if you saw them, you would stop loving me. The confession hung in the air, heavy, painful. Django stared at her reflection, completely still. Then slowly, very slowly, he lifted her shirt just enough to see silver lines stretch across her stomach. Evidence of 9 months of carrying the daughter, proof of pain, proof of strength, proof of love. Vines used her eyes shut, waiting for the moment his expression would change, waiting for disappointment, disgust, anything. But it never came. Instead, Jungkook whispered something so softly it almost broke her heart. You think this is ugly? She opened her eyes. These grey eyes were filled with something she had never seen before. Emotion, deep, overwhelming emotion. He gently placed his hand over the stretch mark. His voice dropped to a whisper. You carried our child here. Her breath shook. These marks mean you are protected. You protected her. Tears streamed down her face. Jungkook leaned down slowly and pressed a soft kiss against the stretch marks. Vine gasped. His voice was rough. Don't ever hide this from me again. Her knees almost gave out because in that moment the cold CEO she feared would stop loving her. Look at her like she was the most precious thing in the world. The bathroom felt unbearably quiet. Only the faint sound of rain tapping against the penthouse windows could be heard. Mine stood frozen in the front of the mirror. Her oversized shirt was lifted just enough to reveal the silver lines across her stomach, the stretch marks she had been hiding for weeks, the marks she thought would make her husband. But Jungkook hadn't stepped away. He hadn't looked disgusted. He hadn't even frowned. Instead, his large hand was still resting gently against her stomach, warm, careful, like he was touching something fragile, something precious. Her breathing was shaky. You don't have to pretend, she whispered. His head slowly lifted. Pretend? Her eyes were glossy with tears. You don't have to act like it doesn't bother you. The words made Jungkook's jaw tighten. Mine. You don't have to say nice things just to make me feel better. Her voice cracked. I know I look different. Jungkook stared at her reflection in the mirror. Then suddenly, he lowered her shirt, but instead of stepping away, he turned her around to face him. His hands rested firmly on her arms. His expression was something she had never seen before. Not cold, not controlled, something raw, something dangerously close to breaking. You think I'm pretending? Her thought tightened. I just thought. You thought I would stop loving you because of a few lines on your skin? Tears slid down her cheeks. They are not just lines. His eyes darkened. They are proof. Proof of what? His voice dropped to a low whisper. Proof of that you suffered for 9 months to give me a family. Her breath caught. You carried our daughter. His grip softened slightly. You went through pain I can't even imagine. His voice trembled faintly. And you think I would look at that and feel disgusted? She couldn't speak because the intensity in his eyes was overwhelming. You think so? Let's love me? Her chest tightened. No, you just what? I love you, Vine. I don't care about anything else. His voice wasn't angry, it was hurt, deeply hurt. And you thought I was the kind of man who would stop loving the woman who gave birth to my child? Her tears flowed harder. I didn't want you to see me like that. Jungkook ran a hand through his hair. You think this make you less beautiful? She whispered quietly. I used to look better. The silence broke something inside him because Jungkook had spent years building an empire, negotiating billion-dollar deals, intimidating India boardrooms, but nothing had ever made him feel helpless at this point because the woman he loved truly believed she had become unlovable. His voice softened suddenly. Come here. You are still the most beautiful girl I ever know. Before she could react, he pulled her into his arms. Vine gasped softly. Because this was the first time he held her like this in weeks, tightly, protectively, like he was afraid she might disappear. Her hands trembled as they slowly rested against her cheeks. I missed you, he murmured quietly. Her heart cracked. I was right here. No, his arms tightened slightly. You weren't. He rested his chin on the top of her head. You have been hiding from me. Her fingers clenched in his shirt. I didn't want you to see me like this. Jungkook slowly pulled back, just enough to look at her face. You think I married you because of your body was perfect? She hesitated. I don't know. The answer made him sigh deeply because he suddenly realized something painful. She had never truly understood how much he loved her, not completely. Not the way he felt it. Jungkook gently cupped her face. Do you remember the first time we went? Her eyes blinked in surprise. At the charity event? He nodded. You were wearing that ridiculous yellow dress. Her lips parted slightly. You said it looked like a sunflower. I said it looked like pride. You said it hurt your eyes. A faint smile tugged at his lips. It did. Despite the tears on her cheeks, she almost laughed. I thought you hated me. I didn't hate you. Then why did you glare at me the whole night? Because you wouldn't stop talking to me? You were the only person not smiling. That's because I don't like people. She sniffed softly. You married one. I married you. There was a difference in the way he said it, and she felt it. Jungkook brushed his thumb under her eye, wiping away a tear. You were loud. She sniffed again. You spilled champagne on my suit. You stopped. You stepped on my foot. And you kept arguing with me about the charity auction. You were wrong about the painting. You bought it just to prove me wrong. I bought it because you annoyed me. Her voice softened. You kept looking at me. He didn't deny it. Because you were beautiful. Her heart skipped. You still are. She shook her head slightly. I'm not the same. Jungkook's expression turned serious again. You're right. Her chest tightened painfully, but then he continued. You're stronger. Her breath caught. You survived pregnancy. His hand gently rested on her stomach again. You gave birth to a daughter. His eyes softened. You became a mother. Her tears started falling again, and somehow his voice lowered. You think that made you less attractive to me? His thumb traced the curve of her cheek. Vine. Her gaze lifted slowly. I have never wanted you more than I do now. Her entire body froze. What? His voice was steady, seeing the stretch marks. His fingers brushed her waist, knowing that they are because of our child. His eyes darkened slightly. It made me feel proud. Her heart pounded wildly. You are proud? Yes. His gaze softened again. Because they remind me that you went through hell to bring our daughter into this world. His forehead gently rested against hers. You think I would love you less that? Her voice trembled. I was scared. I know. I thought you would stop looking at me the same way. His answer came immediately. I won't. Her lips trembled. What if they never go away? Then they don't. What if my body never looks like before? His hand gently squeezed his. Then I will love this version of you forever like now. Her voice cracked again. You say that now. I will say it tomorrow. Her chest tightened. And next year. Tears streamed down to her face. And when we are old and grey, her breathing broke. Jungkook. He gently pulled her into another hug, and this time she didn't pull away. Instead, she buried her face into his chest and cried. All the fear, all the insecurity, all the loneliness she had been carrying for weeks finally poured out, and Jungkook simply held her quietly, patiently, protectively. After a while, she whispered softly, I'm sorry. He stroked her hair. For what? For pushing you away. His voice softened. You were hurting. I should have told you. Yes. She sniffed slightly. You must have thought I don't love you anymore. Jungkook didn't answer immediately, but the silence said enough. Her chest tightened. I'm really sorry. He kissed the top of her head. You don't just hide anything from me again, okay? She nodded slowly. I won't. Then something small happened, but it didn't mean everything. Mine reached for his hand and placed it gently on her stomach again. Not hiding anymore, not ashamed anymore. Jungkook's eyes softened deeply. See, she whispered, they are still there. He leaned down again and kissed the stretch marks softly. They are beautiful. Her heart fluttered because for the first time since giving birth, she believed him. Later that night, for the first time in weeks, Vine returned to their bedroom, and when Shango wrapped his arms around her in bed, she didn't pull away, she leaned closer instead, feeling safe, feeling loved, exactly the way she always had been. She just needed to see it again.